directors at the league. And one of the things that we hadn't really thought about today is the Peace and Justice Fair is going on. So many people are probably out there attending because we have reason today to really want to come together. Wow. In a week that we're commemorating the tragedy of 9/11, we have a political assassination of Charlie Kirk in a country that is reeling from the numerous acts of violence, and these appear to be political violence, right? And here we have all come with the League of Women Voters together, united in service to our country with the belief that every vote counts and that every individual counts, and that the way that we solve our problems is by coming together, putting our minds together, looking at issues, and really seeing what the best answer is, and specifically for community. I bet that you are like me and admire Governor Spencer Cox right now, who's been able to give a message of nonviolence that is pretty amazing. Today we're going to provide a paradox. Governor Cox said, social media is a cancer, log off, turn off, touch the grass, hug a family member, go out and do good in your community. And something that we all really want, he said, we've got to find an offering. I thought that was a very, very good metaphor, right? We've got to find an offering, or we've got to find it quickly. Now, what we want to do today then is a paradox, because what we want to do is talk about ways that we electronically connect at the league, that we connect through the web, that we connect through social media. But the most important thing that we want to say is those are vehicles for us to come together, right? Those are modern ways that society loves to all come together. So we're going to do this incredibly paradoxical thing today. Is I do want everybody to take out your phone. Normally, we would say, please do not take out your phone. But also, we want to use today where we're going to teach you how to use some of these things. We often hear people say, I'd like to volunteer, but I can't really find it, on your website. And so we are going to do an adventure journey where we're going to give you all the pathways back and forth today. We're going to take some time to do that. So I would like to, I have a reading after. Our state president is Karen Crowley. And Karen has some very, very outstanding leadership. Welcome, you guys, come into this front table because we want you to connect. We've got Carolee and Edward here, which is really good news. You are not disrupting. John Donahue is an Irish teacher and poet. This is his blessing for leaders. May you have the grace and wisdom to act kindly, learning to distinguish between what is personal and what is not. May you be hospitable to criticism. May you never put yourself at the center of things. May you act not from arrogance, but out of service. May you work on yourself, building and refining the ways of your mind. May those who work for you see and respect them. May you learn to cultivate the art of presence in order to engage with those who meet you. When someone fails or disappoints you, may the graciousness with which you engage be their stairway to renewal and refinement. May you treasure the gifts of the mind through reading and creative thinking so that you continue as a servant of the frontier where the new will draw its enrichment from the old. And may you never become a functionary. Second page, so struggle to find it. Because the end is good. May you know the wisdom of deep listening, the healing of wholesome words, the encouragement of the appreciative gaze, the decorum of held dignity, the springtime edge of the insight generating question. That's a timely statement, isn't it? May you have a mind that loves frontiers so that you can evoke the bright fields that lie beyond the view of the regular eye. May you have good friends to mirror your blind spots. May leadership be for you a true adventure of growth. So, let's just take a moment though, okay? Let's just take a moment. So let's close our eyes and let's just take a moment and say, it is up to me to have the part to find peace and stop the violence. All right. So as we come back to the program, I have to tell you, an outstanding program that's going to make you feel really connected to our community. And I first want to introduce the chair of our communications committee, and that is Sally Hale. That's Sally, you're coming up. Oh, okay.
Oh, now? Okay. You said first, so I wasn't sure. All right.
Got it, agenda.
All right, okay. I'm with the program now. Sorry, I just got back in town last night, so I'm a little jet lagged. Anyway, welcome everyone. We have 9 members of our communications committee. Some of us come from backgrounds in news or marketing or public relations. We serve as a resource to lead committees and leadership. We offer expertise in communications best practices, ensuring public communications are consistent in branding and style, and providing strategic guidance. We do have some directives that come from League National and state regarding branding and style. For example, we have to use specific color schemes and logos. We follow AP style for the most part, with a few exceptions, including the dreaded Oxford comma. Here's some of the things we do. We produce news releases. So just recently we put out a couple of news releases about upcoming candidate forums and also about the charter review panel discussion that we had last Monday. We place stories, op-eds, letters to the editors and local media. The Voter is our monthly newsletter that you all see and read, I hope. And Brenda LWV is the webmaster. She'll be talking some more about that in a minute. We do social media. We do posts and also we have all kinds of platforms that we post on. And Justine Reitz, who does our social media for us, will be talking about that in more detail. And finally, we print and design handout materials, brochures, bookmarks, business cards, flyers, whatever people need, we can make that happen. So traditionally, the president has spoken for the League of Women Voters of Clark County. Now we don't have a president, we have a board, and so we often now will attribute statements to the entire board and the entire board approves the wording for these statements. Depending on the subject, news releases may also include a committee chair as the contact. For example, Teresa Torres was the contact for the charter review panel discussion. Melanie Hanshaw is the contact for forums because she's the expert on that. What's most important though is that we speak with one voice, nonpartisan voice. League members can speak to the media, they can write letters to the editor as individuals and say whatever they want, just don't identify yourself as speaking for the league. We do get requests for interviews from time to time. They come into, we have a news, LWVCC@gmail account. So those come in, I generally look at those, and we decide who should address whatever inquiries they made, who should be the person to talk to the media. Local reporters also have my phone number. But our communications team is the gatekeeper for all of their inquiries, and we review all the communications with the outside world. So, with that, if you have any questions of me, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, we'll move on to who's next. Okay. Okay, thanks.
What? So it absolutely bears repeating one of the things that Sally said, which is, I'm gonna speak to Tracy. Tracy has an enormous amount of passion, and I do my service through the league. So you would think that, of course, I tell my friends and everybody, I'm a member of the league, I love the league, what the league is about. But take that as one of your most important takeaways, that you do not speak for the league. Now, when you just heard Sally say, we don't have a president, and last year we had a wonderful president, Nancy Halverson, and this year we do not. And you also might say, "Oh, how's that going?" Well, I want to tell you it's going well. We have an enormous good feeling about ourselves and have divided tasks around actions that we're doing for the board. So for example, we've even assigned a member meeting and responsibility for our board meetings to each of our members. So like I'm here, I'm September and Brenda will be October. So we're also sharing the program. Gotta tell you, anybody thinking of a program loves a tip. Loves somebody who says, wow, do I have a great idea for somebody who might provide a program. Somebody in the community who's doing really great things. Wow, 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 wow. We really want to hear that. Now you might also say, well, wait a minute, Tracy, because you just told me that there's no president. So if this is so, how would I get that information? And I think the best way to say that if you just have an idea that you want for all people in the league, we have a Gmail address, and it's lwvcc@gmail.com. And so that would be a place, right, where you could say, hey, I've got a really good idea, and go ahead and send that. And then the person who takes care of the correspondence there is our wonderful Ellie Houghton, a member of our board, and we're going to see her today. So that's one of the things that we really want everybody to know, is that we are doing the best we can. And we feel like it's going to be something very special that's going to come out. But we're experimenting and trying some new things. One thing that we know, again, that I want to accentuate is that members, and this year has been an extraordinary year for membership all across the United States, all across Washington State, and also in Clark County. So pretty much the National League reporting, we had one of the largest surges ever in the history. So one of the things we find is that we also have members here at Clark County who might have signed up nationally. And so we have a lot of people out there, and we really want to bring them in to a very, what I would call, classy and kind organization I am always, I have to tell you, this wonderful Sally who you just heard, Sally's my editor. When I write things, I'm not alone. I write this and I send it to Sally. And Sally gives me the best advice. So by the way, my editor is an award-winning AP bureau chief. And she's possibly your editor also, right? It's Sally and we share this. And by the way, in all the leagues, I also edit something for somebody else. So these are the kind of things that we really want to do. When I had to come here and set up, and oh my goodness, there's something going. Wow, wow, wow. We have our most loyal member, John, always here. At the front, we've got Ellie, we've got Joe, we've got Marlene opening things up. This is a wonderful organization, and none of us is alone because we're full of some pretty spectacular people. So, wow, I am so proud of the league. And I want to tell you, ask that, because then you're also going to go, well, I'm in Jersey, how do I find these spectacular people? Well, one of the things that we do need you to do is to also try to come forward to us so that we know about you. But I also want to tell you, is thinking about things, everything of this last week made the board go, wow, it's all about the members. It's all about the community. Okay, so since we got remarkable presentation that I've already told you, Brenda. Now talk about a superstar. You know, anybody who looks, oh come on, Brenda, come on. It's spectacular. Brenda has a vision and a creativity and an ability, and believe me, she does deserve a standing ovation. Is anybody, she'd be too embarrassed, so we won't do it. But when you look at our website, it's leagues better, isn't it? Right? And the testimony is Brenda. Thank you.
So I'm going to give John a break and I'm going to bring up our webpage and we're just gonna kind of walk around the website and look at things. And there's plenty of time for questions. So if I'm doing something, and you're like, wait, I don't get it yet.
Should I bring up the
Yeah,
webpage
go
for
ahead,
you?
right, bring up the website
Okay,
and then I'll take over.
see where did I put it?
And by the way, shout out to Cynthia is also helping me next month. So Cynthia and I will be doing the October meeting and we haven't figured out everything we're gonna do yet. It'll be a
There's
surprise.
Washington.
Yep.
All right, it's up in there
So that's
somewhere.
Washington, I want me.
Okay, well, we've got it. I know we've got it in there sometime. Say again?
Yeah, we'll get back to it.
That's Washington again. All right, I need to figure out how to get this to come down. I'm sorry. A little slow today.
Bring the top of the browser down.
Yeah,
There you go, there you go. Oh,
there you
That's
go.
it.
That's what I wanted. Oh,
Nope.
there's one of them. There's.
Nope.
Oh, I know I had it up here.
Nope. That's it.
There it is. Okay.
I
So
recognize it.
you-
Blue.
I've got all a bunch of tabs up here. Sorry.
Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna log John out because I want to talk about, can I move?
Where's the login, Brenda?
I'm gonna move this thing over okay, I'm pointing to the login. Can we see the login up in your right corner? So I'm not going to log in as me because, oh, and it remembered, so.
Yeah.
So this is another thing. If you have multiple people working on the same computer, you will log in as a different user. And now when I hit member login, oops, I did it wrong, sorry. Now I see my username down here.
I never got in the back seat because we've got more room up here.
I'm gonna make sure I typed it right.
I got it.
You got it?
It's you.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I didn't get it. Oh, shoot.
See, everyone struggles, even brilliant people. Brenda, eat it like an ice cream cone too.
Okay, so now I am logged in actually as my husband, so you don't see what I see as an administrator. And here we come down. I forgot to have you look at the homepage before you're logged in. We'll do that at the end, I guess, so I don't have to try to log in again. So we've got our homepage, we've got about the league where I can hover and see 3 different things. Voter information, again, 3 different pages. Member actions, this is the big new thing that only members will see. The public will see the homepage, everything in about the league, everything in voter information, because we want them to know about the league and join us. We want them to know how to vote and how to find out about candidate forms, so that's all public. These are things that we can do as members. You can mark your interests. Do you want to join the communications team? Do you want to become an election observer? All those different things. Log your volunteer hours. You can do that either here or as I move down the page, I've got my big fancy giant button, click to log volunteer hours.
Is that important?
That is very important. And let's just go over here and see how important it is. Because we rely on volunteers. Tracking, measuring, and analyzing volunteer time enables us to recognize and celebrate our accomplishments. I've got some information on here about when we hope that you will be able to submit your time. Nobody's going to come after you if you're late. We're just trying to help you remember to do it in a regular fashion so you don't forget. Like, oh, how many hours did I spend on that? Then you can choose, are you doing for yourself, a group, someone else? What month is it? What day is it? And like for my board member time, I just submit it once a month, so I don't have to put in the day. That's an optional thing. Then tell what kind of activity you're doing, how many hours. If you were doing voter or election related hours, that's a mandatory thing because we want to track how much time we're spending on that. And then when you get done saying everything you want to say, you simply submit it and you will get an email confirming that it went through within a few minutes. Question?
Yeah, I'm obliged to ask you at this point because I'm guilty of not doing this religiously. Carol. So is it only, everybody hear me?
I'll repeat your question.
Is everything that we log in directly connected to league activities, or can they be sort of volunteer activities that are aligned with league values, like volunteering at something not even affiliated, but in our wheelhouse?
I think what we're trying to track is time actually spent for the league. Just because that way we can say we spent this many hours, and it can be time preparing, it can be time driving to pick up supplies that you needed to complete a volunteer event. But I would guess that we probably want to just do things for our league so that national knows and state knows this was in support of your actual league.
Today's the Peace and Justice Fair. If you're at our table over there, a wonderful example of a community one is the Peace and Justice Fair. We have a table, we're registered, we're doing our action. If you're at the Peace and Justice Fair for the league, then that qualifies.
Okay. We have another question.
yeah. Other organizations want the report once a month. Well, by the end of the month, I might have forgotten about this meeting. Can we just do a bullet when we get home and do multiple?
Absolutely, yes. I said that I do my board stuff once a month, but stuff that I do on a daily basis, like for the communications committee or, prepping for this meeting, I submit that at the end of every day. I keep track of it on my computer, and then I just submit it that night so that I don't forget. Exactly. Irene. You can absolutely count this meeting as your volunteer time. I think a lot of us forget to do that. And we do have the list so we can go back and say, oh, well, we had 50 people or we had 20 people. So we can recreate that, but I would encourage all of you to go home and put in the 2.5 hours, whatever time you spent coming here, participating and getting home. Absolutely.
Does it?
Well, let's go back and check.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, look, there it is.
Member meeting, there you go.
So Brenda, could somebody just check that? And would the whole hours come through if you did that monthly? You said monthly and then member meeting or that?
Yeah, you could either submit it today or you could submit it at the end of the month that you went to a member meeting, but you would want to track like how much time you spent. If you're going to do multiple check marks, be sure to put like, well, it was 10 hours, 2 hours for member meeting, 2 hours for this, 2 hours for that kind of thing. I mean, you don't have to, but it just helps us if we were trying to tease out. Yes.
So, I can't totally read that. Was there a category that you said for elections? I work in forums.
Yes, there is let me just go through the whole league activity list. There's election observing, voter services, which is when you're tabling out in the community, candidate forums, that can be your prep time or actually at the forum, observer corps, the civics committee, communications, member meeting, board or officer duties, in kind, and then others. So if you don't feel like any of these meet what you're doing, click the other and then come down.
Observer Corps.
And then come down and put, what would you like to tell us? If you clicked other, please tell us what you were doing. And then, yes, I can come back and say the Observer Corps is led by Nancy Halverson and her fabulous team that go out and observe government meetings and write up a summary of what was discussed. And you can find what they figured out at our blogs. It's called the Observing Government blog. It's the only one that we're using right now. So it's easy to click on the right one. And when you click, you will see the latest post was done by Janet Hedgepath on the Clark County Planning Commission. You can read what happened. Then you can come over here and say, oh, but I want to know what Evergreen School Board was up to. I want to know what the Board of Health was up to. What else was going on in September? What else was going on in August? Just click through, find the meeting that you're interested in, and read all about it.
That's under archive.
Yes, that is, you'll see the blog index over here on the left, and you can archive month by month. And it goes, I guess it just goes back to February of 24. I think that may have been when we put this live. So now we talked about how do you get back and forth. I'm on the blogs page. Well, here on my desktop or laptop, it's easy to see this giant menu, but maybe you're on your cell phone and this menu doesn't show up. So find the little navigation crumb up here. I can go back to all of the kinds of blogs, or I can go back to my homepage. Once I'm on my homepage, let's come down. We can also view past issues of the voter. We can see, well, I can update this now. Peace and Justice Fair is taking place. We can see all of our advocacy issues. And again, this is just for members. We have not made any of this public at this point. We've got actions to take, resources to review. We've got another event to check out on the 16th. This again is public about the constitutional crisis. This is public. Find out more about forums and who signed the pledge. Find out about voter information. Again, you can click to get to the Observer Corps blog, or you can click to see our news tab, where you can see all the news releases that have come out in the last few months. You can see op-eds that he have submitted and hopefully get published. Sometimes they don't, and that makes us sad. You can see articles that reference us in the news. You might see a blog from the national site that we are highlighting. And then this is also at the very bottom, I've got redistricting updates. This is only going to show up if you're logged in as a member. And this is where the redistricting committee has given me information that we wanted to share with all of the members. And other committees are welcome to submit things like this to me too. We want this to be a useful place to go and find news. Another good place, how am I doing on time? I'm like way over. Okay. Another useful place is our event calendar. You can see all of the different things. Now let's check out icons up here. I can do a search if I'm looking for a specific kind of thing, or I can click over here because I don't like that calendar. I want a bigger format to see, okay, on the 6th, we did this. Let's come down to the 13th, Peace and Justice Fair member meeting. And then if I want to see more about this election observer training, I hit view. And here's all of the information about the election observer training. But ooh, wait, I want to go back to see the whole event calendar. Come back up to the top, events. And I'm back. And I don't want to see this. I want to see that calendar to see the whole month. I'm going to come back and look at the grid.
Brenda, why are those in different colors?
Oh, she beat me to it. So that's the other icon up here. You can view the legend. So I've got board meetings in a pinky purpley color, candidate forum planning. Basically, I tried to put, you can read all these, but I tried to put like committee meetings in blue. The candidate forums are in green, so they pop out. On top of my calendar, I've this weird little, like an equal sign with a little,
Wave.
I don't know what that's supposed to be, but it's the legend.
Thank you.
It's one of those things that I learned recently, and so I started colorizing everything. So if people don't like my colors, let me know. But like the state league stuff is in red, so that's obviously from the state instead of from us. And then public things are in black, like our member meeting and coffee with the league, things that more of the public could be involved with. Kathy.
The forums, we bumped into a question that locally we didn't have an answer for. We wanted to get the data out on the people running for charter. And so do we do a forum with all these people? What do we do? And what we found out was Voter 411, which is state, was going to be sending out a questionnaire or an opportunity for all the charter people to speak. After that, we reported. So my question has to do with the interface between local and state. We didn't know. So how, I think the charter is very important. That is going to be carried on 411. But we didn't even know that. So how does that piece of information get us?
So the 411 is linked to on our homepage. So what we can do is once we know that they are uploading information, we can add something to our homepage saying, are you interested in learning about the charter review candidates? Click on Vote 411 and look for that information. Because I know I just talked to Melanie about, they figured that was the good way to do it. So that they could get that information, but we will highlight that on the homepage for public to say, are you interested in this information? Click here. Teresa.
Back on the calendar, to also point out, and maybe you said it, I didn't here, that if you click on, like a meeting, like let's say you want to join the civics committee, which is an amazing committee. So I send out an agenda every month and I always put the Zoom link in, but some people lose the email or maybe they're new and they, so the Zoom link is on there.
It is, yes. Let's find the last civics meeting was on the 2nd. So let's click forward. The next one will be in October. On the 7th, I'm going to click Civics Voter Services meeting, and here is your link to the event. And it also gives you Teresa's name in case you forgot that she's the leader.
But I mean, there's other committees on there too, that's what I'm saying, especially if you're new and you're like, I kind of want to find out about this one. And if they're holding a meeting, you can, the only thing I think the board, you can't get into that, right?
No, we're not gonna put the Zoom for the board on there. If you are interested, the public is, or members are allowed to attend board meetings, but I would say just reach out to us and we
Yeah.
will share that information with you. The other thing I wanted to do on the event calendar is highlight at the end of this month, on the 29th, Ellie and I, mostly Ellie, is doing a member orientation. And while the Zoom is available here for everybody, we would also appreciate you registering so we have an idea of how many people want to come. So let's walk through registering for something on the event calendar. I can click it in a couple different places. Member orientation says register now. I'm going to click and it decides to send me to the other register now button. But just so you know, that's what's going to happen, no matter what you do. So now it can say who's attending. I'm logged in as my husband, so that's his name. There's no fee. I'm going to say next. Now it's telling me your event registration is not complete until you review the information below and then click complete registration. So I again see the date and time, Monday, September 29th, 6:30 to 7:30. Registrant information is the name of the person logged in. There is no payment, it's free. So I will say complete registration.
And he's coming.
And you will get an email saying you are registered for this event. How else can you tell that you're registered? Come up to your profile. Click right up here where you logged in the upper right corner. It now says your name. You're going to click on your profile. And in your profile, you have this history box and you can see event history. I'm going to click on the event history and look, I am signed in for member orientation 9/29. I'm paid because it was free. I'm registered. I can add it to my calendar, or let's say, oh, I totally forgot I have a conflict that evening. I need to cancel. Here's my little garbage can, and when you hover, it says cancel. So if you click that, you will cancel your registration. And we're going to cancel it just so you can see that. And it says, are you sure you want to cancel? Okay. So now you are canceled. And let's do a refresh. Oh, actually what it says is canceled. So you will see that you had registered for it, but now you are canceled. Let's also look at committees. Teresa brought up her own committee, which is civics. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different committees on here. And I made voter services a subcommittee. So you can find that one here because Teresa's doing both, but you can sign up for either one of them. These are all of the team members for voter services. And you'll see, because my husband is not signed up for this, he sees a thing to sign me up. He also, everybody will see, do you want to send an email to the members? So maybe you're like, I don't understand, what does voter services do? Send an email to this group. Someone will get back in touch with you.
By the way, if anybody would like to head up voter services.
In case you didn't hear that, we are looking for a leader for voter services. Let's look at action and advocacy is a fairly new one. We've got multiple people signed up. You'll also notice as you look at the names, the chair member has that listed on top of their name. So you can see the chair of advocacy is Kate Castenson, and she has her email listed here. You can email her directly if you're interested. You can sign up just to let her know again you're interested. Let's say you signed up for advocacy. Look, you're now a member. Okay. And let's see, I don't know if I'll show up on here or not, since he's kind of a hidden member. But now that you're in, it says remove me. So let's say, oh, I didn't mean to sign up for that. I accidentally clicked that. I don't want to be in this group. Just hit remove me. You've been removed. And it's good to go. What else did I have?
Volunteering.
Volunteering, of course, very, very, very important. This you can find under member actions, volunteering. Let's say you're not on a big fancy desktop. You can come to the home page. And I would always have this, we need volunteers. I'll either be highlighting something or just saying, check volunteer opportunities by going to member action menu, choosing volunteering, or click volunteering. All right, so actions or activities that you can volunteer for. We will generally have some items you can volunteer for our membership meetings. We've got the Peace and Justice Fair, National Voter Registration Day on the 16th is full right now. I have put this on for the rest of this month. This is just called test sign up. This is for you to play around with. So you don't feel like, oh, what if I can't figure this out and I screw up somebody? Play around in the test sign up. I put 20 spots, and what it says, there are two things you can click over here to the right. There's a volunteer button. So we'll click that first. You can sign up yourself, another member, or a non-member. Generally, we're not signing up non-members to volunteer. We're generally just doing yourself or another member. It will input your name as you're logged in. You can choose a phone number if you've got more than one. You can put in the email that you would like to use for it. And there are multiple slots or one slot. Now, the nice thing, this doesn't tell you what you're doing. So you're like, well, I don't understand. What am I actually going to do? So if you get here and you're not sure, hit cancel. No harm, no foul. Okay. So now we'll go back to the volunteering opportunity page. How do I figure out?
So you go ahead and volunteer, but it has the two other parts you said, one not a league member, but you have one that's a league member. How do you know that that person located with the person's website that's there, they want to be part of it?
Yeah, I wouldn't sign up people unless they have said to you specifically, will you sign me up?
But there's nothing there indicating that I talked to that person and that's what they said. So that is a weakness.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I would hope that everyone knows to just sign up people that want to be signed up. And if you're having trouble, I can also sign you up behind the scenes. So if you're just like, I just can't make this work, send me an email. I will sign you up behind the scenes. But so let's find out more about, like, for example, our membership meeting. So if you go to the right of the green volunteer button, there are 3 dots. And if you hover, it says expand. And this shows you everything. Now this says no slots found because we're in the middle of it. And so you can't sign up to volunteer for something that we're in the middle of. This one is full, but we can still read about it. So you will see where it is with an address. You've got a contact person, all the different things. We've got an assistant that you could have signed up for to help set up, ambassadors share information, photographers take pictures. Then you can see, ooh, I think all of these are full, so you wouldn't be able to say, oh, I want to help with this person and there's an open spot. But here's where you'll see who is doing this task. And you can see that it's Mary. Who is doing this task? We've got Mary and Sherry. So that's where you can find out who else is signed up and see exactly what's going on. And you can see a description at the bottom. Join us for this event. We've had a lot of success each year we participate. And if there's a website that I can put on there, I will. And then I can simply close that up to collapse it. Now, for the test sign up, I've got 20 spots. So the task is testing. And it says, can you sign yourself up and then cancel from your profile? And again, in my description, I'm duplicative. Try signing yourself up and then canceling. So I can't sign up from here. This is where I read, but I just go right up to my volunteer green button. I sign up myself. I click the register button. I say, first, add this volunteer. And again, I see still my name, my email. I did not choose a phone number, so that didn't show up. So I'm going to edit. All right, so now I'm going to pick a phone number so that people can contact me and add this volunteer. And now I've updated with the name, a phone number, and an email. I'm done adding volunteers. You are not done yet. Once you have confirmed your selections, hit complete and save. So this is where you could go back and say, oh, but wait, Cynthia told me she wants to do this with me, so I'm going to go back and add her to it. Let's try doing that. I'm going to sign up another member, except I won't do Cynthia, I'll do myself. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to go. Oh, I could have done this much more easily. See, even the webmaster doesn't remember all the shortcuts. So all I would have had to do was put in Brenda and hit search, and then I show up. So now I can say, oh, I want to register for this. Yes, okay. So now I will add this volunteer. Now you see both of us. I'm done adding volunteers. Again, not done until I say complete and save. Now, this is where it will help Edry, because if you signed up some random person and put their email in, they should get an email confirming that. And it will say, you know, if you have questions about this, it'll have a contact information. So they could go back and say, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for this.
So I couldn't have quick enough to read what it is then, but I cannot have the ability to make someone.
We can't hear her.
I will repeat.
Okay, I do not have the ability to be able to make a person a volunteer. They have to go through a process with elections. And it's only going to be now, which people know, the ones that said it. 3 times a year, there's only so many spaces and they have to sign up for that and complete it. And then elections office tells me that that person has done it.
So Edry is talking about the election observers, and it's probably best that we don't put that on our volunteering, because that's going to run through the elections office and not through the league, and they're getting, they have to be trained at the elections office. So we'll let Edry work on that.
They can say they're interested, but there's only so many people that are trained, and they have it in January, like March, June, and now they're the 18th they're having it. But they have X amount.
Right.
So they've tried to save a certain number of the 30 that can be there that are for league. But if we don't sign anything up, one of the 2 parties will get it. So there's only the Dems, the Republicans, and league are the only ones that are certified to be election observers. And now with the new thing where people may drop being a league voter every month, I then have to go in there and then let elections know that those people are no longer going to observe.
Okay, so
it's a whole different thing. I mean, we're different.
Right. So Edry is just describing that the election observers will not be using this volunteer system because she needs to ensure that they're actually trained and that there's space for them.
Have to get to me before they can be trained.
So if you're interested in being an election observer, talk to Edry.
Yeah, you cannot go to elections and say, I want to do it as a league member. It has to come from me.
Okay.
Or whoever's in my place.
So if you are interested in being an election observer, the way to do that is at the committee's level. So sign up to be an election observer at the committee's level so that Edry can get in contact with you and walk you through how to become an observer and how to sign up to observe.
So then that, where it says election observers, that information has to be put in. So, if I was just a regular member and I wanted to do it, I wouldn't know what you just said. So in there, if you're wanting to be an observer, contact the person who chairs that, give my name at this point, and I will then tell them what they have to do. And there's like only 3 times a year. It's changed since Rich is now the head. So there's a difference.
I think we'll do another session that will be particularly devoted to just talking about that process. So we're
No, I'm
planning out
saying,
October.
Don't have that just the way it is. Somebody rewrite that.
Well, you got Brenda right here, so.
Well, it says members who have been certified by Clark County Elections Office to observe processing of ballots at elections at Clark County Elections Office. For information about upcoming elections, so you want us to take that off?
But have to be certified to be a representative of either the R's, the D's, or the Ds. There are some that did D's or R's, and I can see them on a list and see once they're certified.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's specific and we need to get on.
Yeah.
But we will, the board will focus on just that.
Okay. I have one more thing that will take 10 seconds. Voter newsletter. You get the email. They're also in the documents. So just follow the link, bring up the latest voter. And now I know we need to do our icebreaker where we can all talk to each other. And there's your latest voter. Take it away.
Wow, thank you, Brenda. And it is extraordinary to realize, how much is coming to her in terms of all these best practices. So we're gonna move on now to, table talking. And what we want to do with this table talking is a little bit of a brain trust. Because your board is interested in why did you join the league? How did you find out about the league? And just that kind of close talk. And so as you're all gathering together at your uneven tables, that's what we want you to do is go ahead and do this connection. And for members who are here, let's spread ourselves around so that we could be scribes and taking notes. I'd like to ask someone from this well set up table. Could I have 1 or 2 of you come over to join this table over here? Could we have one person who would come over here? And then what we want to do is just connect and talk. What brought you to the league? What kind of information, especially hearing about this, what kind of information would you use in order to do your work at the league, in order to talk to other people about the league? So again, we don't have a topic that you have to report on so much as what we want you to do is talk and connect. What did bring you to the league?
How many minutes?
And so we have 15 minutes to do this. 11:15.
But anyway.
Hi, online folks. I'm John. I'm back. Anything you want to talk about?
Well, sir, am I talking to the whole room or just you, John?
Oh, I think you're talking to the whole room, sort of, but they're not paying attention.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you know me, John, but I'm a city council member for Vancouver.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think what drove me to the league
Wait,
this year,
maybe we can put ourselves, I'm sorry, Sarah, yeah, I should put ourselves in a breakout room or something, I guess.
oh, okay.
We want to do that, so.
Let's see if we got it.
Jump in.
Group at home, you get my apologies for. Do we have a pro version where we have this? I wonder whether can everybody hear us? Oh,
I can hear you.
well, we looked at host tools, we know find it. Oh, there we go. We're working at, okay, assign automatically, but we only want one, right?
Yeah.
How many people have you got?
Just one, well, I mean,
Yeah,
we got 3 people besides, yeah, we can put everybody in the breakout room.
did people get,
It'll probably.
yeah, they should be getting something.
It's
that
still
says
good.
there they are, they're joining. Okay,
It's still gonna come out through the TV.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
so it won't change anything.
apologize to these people for me.
Okay, sorry, guys. Yeah, we were just practicing something. Because we haven't done breakout rooms before here. But I guess it's okay. If there's anything, I mean, we could use the chat, and that won't bother people, or I can still hear you through the TV. See Deanne's message that he's traveling. Okay, what brought you to the league? I guess that was one question, wasn't it? What brought me to the league was Mimi had been a league member for a long time. And I wasn't, because I spent my time working.
How solid her website is. Wow.
Oh, they sent us right back to the normal room again.
Yeah, we should be back. Yeah, you guys are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
What happened to? Yeah, I closed all the. I think I lost Deanne. That's what happened. We lost
Yes,
Deanne.
sir.
she's still here.
Here for a little bit more. Yeah. Well, Sarah, why did you join League?
Well, I joined. Can't get myself back here. I joined because I've always looked up to the league. I really, as a candidate and as a council person, I've just thought it's really a way to be involved in politics. I appreciate the nonpartisan nature of the league, and I wanted to be more involved.
I've been a member, well, I kept my membership throughout, but I joined, 38 years ago when my older son was a toddler, and I've been active off and on during career and all. And when I retired in 2018, I got reactivated in terms of participation, but I mostly joined because there's some women in the community where I lived who I looked up to and I admired. Appreciated it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just seeing what I can do to contribute to this great organization. You know, it's kind of my thinking.
I think Mayor Ann is a member. I don't know if anybody else on council is a member.
I don't know. We never talk about it, so.
Yeah, and well, she's no longer on the council, but on the county council, but Kimball Lentz, I think, has been. There's not a conflict of being an elected official. Really.
Not as long as, I guess, not as long as I don't do council business. I can belong to whatever organizations I want to belong to.
When did you join?
Are you talking?
I think I've been a member for, oh my gosh, it's been quite a few years. I was just trying to remember why. I don't remember what drove it.
It's because the league is about, the voter is right in the name. It's all about participating in government. That's why I.
Yeah.
No, I was home on family leave because our, little toddler, and I was a reporter at the Fresno Bee then, and I was worried my brain was gonna turn to mush. And yeah, I don't think it did, although some would disagree, but I like to think that was amazing. I'm now member of the state board, and I'm learning something new every day.
I've got my, I looked at my files. My oldest email with the league is 2017. So I probably joined about half a year after I retired, because I retired in 2016. And I remember jumping in because I love the lobby day stuff that we did. And so.
Oh, yeah.
I
It
miss
would be
that. I
nice
wish we would do that again.
When Sarah, we used to take a group, all the leagues throughout the state would descend on Olympia for a day, legislative day, and meet with their elected officials. And it's really good. We've kind of backed away from that because of the people power. You want to put that on and organize it. Everybody, thought, well, Zoom is to do it, but you really do some connection, some camaraderie by doing it on Zoom. There's a lot of
Yeah, the
push
Zoom stuff
to
never
renew
worked
it.
very well.
Yeah, I've tried. I mean, I have a full-time job, an actual full-time job. So it makes it difficult for me to do a lot of anything else really other than work in council. But I appreciate that even this meeting's on Zoom so that I can kind of double do things at the same time. I'm
You're
paying
very
attention.
right. League has been primarily of women who are not working outside the home for so long. And we just moved our state board meetings not long ago to Saturdays to accommodate women who work outside the home and can't get away Monday through Friday. And I think we have to do more of that. We really do, because we need young blood. So
Yeah. It's interesting because I also volunteer for the VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars, and I'm one of the few people on their board that is under 60.
Oh, really?
And they like to do a lot of things during the weekdays, and I've been telling them for years. Well, and they equally complain about not having younger people involved, and they just aren't listening when I tell them that, well, you can't have these, get-togethers, on a Friday afternoon if you want more people of younger age to be there.
That's VFW. What drew you to VFW?
I'm a veteran, and so it's Veterans of Foreign Wars. So I just wanted to keep that connection in my life of being around people that understood that aspect of me. So I do enjoy hanging out with them when I can. It's just, most of them are 10 to 20, 30 years my senior right now, at least. We'll see if my generation starts joining more.
I don't know if I read very much. My source of information would be the Columbian about what VFW is doing locally, and I don't know that I am aware of it. It might just be me, but are they very active in community outreach?
They are, but it's really veteran focused. So they do a lot of they have a lot of service hours at the Veterans Hospital in Vancouver. They usually show up at a lot of what they call the stand down, which helps homeless vets and others, recently released from the service and other vets to get their benefits and help them if they're in need. You know, we do a lot of outreach and work for just mostly veterans.
Well, I mean, I'm just kind of thinking across barriers or something. I mean, League could make itself available, but to do help with voter registration or voter education. Yeah, nonpartisan, but if there are people who are using assistance for among veterans.
Yeah, well, I'd be open to bridging that gap. Like I said, definitely. I'm not on the board right now, but I've been on the board, and I know, when their meetings are, and so could definitely make that connection.
Yeah, Jackie, do you know offhand voter services? Is that Teresa still? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay, excuse me.
Yeah,
People at home were rounding.
I realize we're coming up to a rest stop. We're almost to Eugene. We're driving to Southern California, so it's a long ride, and we're gonna pull off at a rest stop. So I'm gonna bow out. But you know what? I'm gonna later on today. I'm gonna. Sarah, is your email?
Hey, thanks, Deanne.
It is, Deanna. I look forward to talking to you more on this. Thank you.
Right, and I'll send Teresa and you an email, so we'll connect you guys.
Okay, Deanne.
Thanks.
I got her muted.
Okay. So what was the goal of this? The goal was connection. The theme is connection. The other thing is, you're now remembering what brought you to the league. And we know that there are all kinds of new members who are not here today. And we're going to try to find those people and invite them and bring them more in. And when we do, their story is probably not all that different from yours. And so one very interesting icebreaker to do with anyone, one of these meetings is, how did you join? Right? It was just, I love hearing some of the stories, and I bet you did too. So we've got a lot going on this meeting, but the most important thing is connecting you. And so I want to tell you about Justine, and let's see how well I do on her last name, Renfitz.
Very close.
Very close. She always, now, by the way, pronouncing people's names is actually very important. So you should ask people, and so we've got,
Yeah, just like yours.
right, so it's Rhymeness.
Yeah.
Celtic, I like that.
Well,
No,
it's German, yeah.
but I probably also showing languages as connected. Anyway, what I want to do is bring Justine up. Justine is really transformative, just as Brenda is. So again, if you want to know like one of the coolest committees of all, by the way, I noticed I wasn't on any of the committees that I'm on, and that's because I didn't join online. And so I thought, well, I got a homework for me to do this week, because I've been appearing in several of these committees, and I'm not official. So I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I also gotta do my numbers. I gotta log my volunteers. Yeah, I got things to do. And here's just.
All right, thanks everybody. So yeah, I get to talk about social media. One thing is, I was trying to think back, and I was like, so I actually, I'm gonna age myself here, and I first got a Facebook profile when it was the Facebook. And you actually had to be part of already an approved college campus to even be on it. So it was like a beta form. And there was no sharing pictures. It was really just almost like a instant messenger kind of platform. Yeah. And then I actually started managing social media for an organization. The first time was, I don't know, over 8 years ago now. I don't know. And I thought I was gonna be done with it, and here I am. Still doing it. Against my bad judgment. I'm actually not a big social media user in terms of like I'm not a content creator. But I will kind of manage profiles, and content creators are special people. People who will kind of put themselves out there. I like I can create pretty graphics, and I can put pictures up, and I can put the communication together, but probably like a lot of you, I don't want to, be out there being a spokesperson on a social media channel. So that's content creators, and we don't need to be that. And that's my main thing is that as I've managed social media accounts, what's funny is one organization I was part of, the founder was like, we want to go viral. How do we go viral? And I was like, oh God. Everybody wants to go viral. And here's the thing, is that's actually not really what it's about. That's actually really not the point. And when you start looking at a larger piece of communication and what social media can do for you, is really that I always want to bring it back to, and I told Brenda that it comes back to your website, actually. When you're looking at all the online platforms and where you're wanting to drive people to, the whole point is to drive people actually to your website. That's your digital real estate. And social media is just one modality to help drive people there. And how are you successful on social media? Is it the right video? Is it the right, trending music that you have to like put your video to? No, there's no secret sauce. Really, when I found social media accounts to be really when they're really successful, it's that they're genuine. They're just genuinely themselves, and it almost has nothing to do with the online space. It's that they're genuinely active, that they are actually in the community. They're busy. They're doing stuff genuinely. And then you're actively and consistently talking about that. I think someone might want to get it. Someone wants to check the door for somebody. Oh, got it. That we're consistently sharing about what we're doing. That's really all you do. And so it's a lot of work, essentially. Yeah.
Curious, do we have any, I agree with you about what's driving audiences to our digital real estate. Do we have any click-through data? Do we have anything about how our social media is driving people to the website? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so that's the question, is driving people to our digital real estate website. Do we have metrics on are we actually tracking, how we're getting people to our website? Are we doing that? And that's called Google Analytics. And you essentially at this point have to have like a degree in Google Analytics, it feels like, to be able to process all of that information. But it is available if someone wants to look at it. There's a lot of metrics out there. Right now, the ones that I track, as far as what we're on social media, we're active right now in a few different channels. We have more accounts that we're not actively posting on right now. It's a capacity issue, really. You kind of pick a few, you do those. If somebody can kind of come along to, drive us better on with other channels, great. But right now, we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, and I did recently get us, Facebook, Instagram, and I did recently get us on LinkedIn. Because I'm seeing a lot of people, a lot of social organizations, a lot of, driving, a lot of conversation is happening more on LinkedIn, actually, about important topics in our communities. So, another thing about social media is, one last thing is, it really is about building relationships. It's about who are we, what do we do, and showing people our values. And with that, with our social media in particular, I try to stay local focused. Um, you know, the state league, the national league, they're putting out a lot of content as well. About hot topics, current events. A lot of times I kind of stay away from entering into those. I try to keep it focused on what's it happening here locally and if there's a spin, you know, I can, you know, reference something if it impacts us locally. Like for example, with mail-in ballot conversation happening nationally. I might enter into that conversation on our channel, but with that, what I would like to do now is that's kind of my thing about social media. And what I like to do is ask you guys some questions. So there's some questionnaires here on your table. I'd love it if people could kind of take a minute to fill it out. You know, as it's not a test, so if you need to leave something blank, it's understandable. But just kind of as it applies to you, use this opportunity to tell me about your relationship with social media. I know the people at home don't have access to this questionnaire. We losing people in here. But I just wanted to get a little, just a little market research essentially. Asking about what platforms you use, what do you enjoy, what brings you to social media, what are you hoping to get while you're there? Do you follow our accounts or any other league accounts? What topics do you want to be hearing about? What would you like to see more of that we're not doing? And what would engage you in social media? Yeah.
We could ask the home people to do that in chat.
Yes.
Yeah, any of those kind of questions, just, and then those are kind of the topics that we're generally talking about, just kind of general thoughts on your relationship with social media, how you'd like to connect with it, and what would you do, how would you be able to engage more in what would be engaging for you in our social media accounts?
Can I use your pen to fill it out?
You can. This is actually a pen from Deanne Thinking. So I'll just give everybody, I think, just another minute or so to fill that out. And then we'll just come back and have more of a little open dialogue.
Why don't we have John pull up our Facebook page? So people can just see it.
That one, it. Oh, yeah, that is it. That's Clark County League of Women Voters on Facebook.
Facebook page, and so if you scroll down, I think you can kind of see some of our most recent posts. Advertising a community event that was from the Washington Secretary of State put this out at different libraries. Here's a post talking about our forum from the 6th. And then I think I did one, we got into the Columbian, so I cross-posted that. And then the Charter Review Commission panel. That actually took me a stupid amount of time to create that graphic, but I had fun doing it. Oh, and then, oh yeah, we posted pictures from our picnic. That one got, yeah, so some of these get a lot more traffic than others. Why sometimes things get way more traffic and then not. Again, it has to do with it's engaging, if people are interested in it. If they're not, then they're not gonna engage in it. Sometimes it's when I post it, there's certain times where people are more active or not. I do know that single image posts like that charter review one gets better traffic on Facebook than on Instagram. Instagram, we get lots of our best traffic comes when we do reels, those little videos. Instagram loves those, but they don't like it on Facebook. They get barely any views on Facebook, so it's, everything's changed. Things have changed over the years and are constantly evolving, the algorithms and, yeah, so it's not, so the thing is, you don't want to chase those things. You just want, again, to be genuine, so.
Irene Finley. This may have changed since I last came, but people wanted business cards. And if we have business cards available, we have all these signs on.
We found that, yeah.
Oh, so there was a question about when we table and even just having good old fashioned business cards. That's what's fun about communications, is communication is involved in everything. We could just like take over all the committees, and we're not gonna do that. But we have thousands of business cards, that we can hand out, little just, contact us here cards, so. All right, does anybody have any other questions for me, or any other thoughts they wanna share? Just, we're gonna open it up to kind of just open discussion about, here's the thing, is that social media is this kind of double-edged sword. It drives a lot of disinformation. And it also is attributed to the polarization of people. It also can bring them together. So it's just a matter of how we show up in that space, just as we do in this space here. So does anybody have anything they want to share with me?
Last things.
Yes.
I was just going to say, one of the social media whatevers that you do not have on here that I added as other is next door.
Yeah, I was gonna.
That's the one I use most. It's
Very
most
good.
common, and it's local.
Yeah, so there was a talk about addition of next door as, that is essentially a social media platform, if you're on that. And there's a lot of information, that gets shared on there, yeah.
Okay.
One last thing that I wanna do is, while we have our phones out, I really encourage you guys to actually, if you're not already, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, to check that you are actually following us on those platforms. I'm gonna take a quick show of hands. How many people actually have social media on your mobile device? Okay. How many people do not have it, refuse to use it, will never use it? Excellent. And I love people for that. I love that you're saying, I can only show up genuinely in this certain type of space. I can't show up and be who I want to be in that space. And it's really important. It's so important that people make those determinations, and you not make it for yourself. If you don't, and sometimes it changes depending on what's happening in the world. Sometimes you have to say, and like what we started with, sometimes you do have to just remove it. You don't need to explain it to anybody. You don't need to tell everybody, I'm gonna be off social media for a while. You can just turn it off and open your front door and take a walk and show up in those spaces. Go to the coffee shop. Don't have your phone out. Don't be honest. If it's not feeling good to you, it's great to know that. If you're finding that you are able to use it as a tool to connect with people and it's a valuable resource, great. That's what we want. Ether, one last comment?
Sure, I don't use it because I actually go directly to the people, and so I've made huge changes in our city by being able to connect, and they trust me. So I don't do the social media one because I can actually get that done.
Beautiful. Yeah, so many ways.
Yeah.
We gotta get going. So the next, thing that we want, to talk about is a member of the communications team, Kate Happy. And, she has been working on a super cool new member guide. Thanks, Tracy. Is anybody here a new member? First meeting? Excellent, welcome. When you came in the door, did someone flag you as a new member and say, you are so welcome? Good, excellent. That's what we want to happen for every new member that comes in the door. And you are recent. Okay, well, so am I. I'm only about a year. And I remember the first meeting I came to, it was just overwhelming. Like, what the heck? How do I follow all of this fast moving business? And then we had some real fun programs that helped give me the flavor of this group. Well, we've been wanting to upgrade the welcome experience for people on many levels, and we've put together a lengthy piece, which now in the days of, we don't hand these things out anymore, they live on the website. So you're gonna go to LWV, Clark County / orientation, and this is soon gonna pop up. We're just coming down the home stretch on getting it approved. But that is gonna be a navigation piece that helps you understand how the league works and suggests things to do first, which would have helped me a great deal. One of the first ones, attend a meeting. Let's say you joined, we're gonna send you a welcome email, and we're gonna say, hey, show up so we can meet you in person. We're also gonna say, navigate our website. We just got a wonderful little seminar on that today. Send you to the website, and there's gonna be a welcome spot that you land in when you do the orientation / orientation on the website. That's gonna tell you all that I'm saying in much more detail. And then we're gonna encourage you to sign up to volunteer, sign up to be on the committee, because that's when you really get your feet wet and find out about the work that LWV does. But we're also going to encourage you to come to an orientation session in person if that's your bag. You want to meet people. Come to Coffee with the League. We've had 2 or 3 of those. They've been delightful, and we'll probably keep that up. We've talked about teaming you up with a buddy, somebody who's been a member for a while that you can turn to. Like when I went to college, we had big sisters from 2 classes up, and it was helpful. And all kinds of ways to make better connections at meetings. This sprinkling around of tables and talking about how did I get into the league is just great. So if any of you have thoughts about that as a new member or an old member who has thoughts about that, come see me because we're putting the package together right now. Thank you. Would you put the state website up?
Yes.
So we are part of our organization of League of Women Voters of Clark County. We are automatically members of League of Women Voters of Washington. And indeed, we are also members of League of Women Voters USA. Now, this is the League of Washington. Hey, thanks. Those are both the screens, John. So those are the ones I'm going to want to go. So first we've got the League of Women Voters Washington, and I really encourage you. I'm a sort of an old-fashioned person who has this just on my favorites, right? And so this is the League of Washington, and go, John, would you scroll up a little bit? Resisting threats to democracy is our theme right now. And it's of incredible importance to our whole nation, and it's a very strong emphasis in Washington. So if you're wondering to yourself, first of all, wow, what is that about? I'm not going to have you click it though, John, but this is clickable, right? Right in here, this is clickable. Next to it is something called Unite and Rise. And what I want to tell you is you will be automatically signed up for a whole variety of things. I'm about to tell you that. this Uniting Rise, you need to sign up yourself. One of the things is it's resource heavy, right? We're saying like, what do we say if I was gonna educate myself on this, if I was gonna find out things that are going on? This is from our national, and it's an extraordinary and deep playbook, so I encourage you to do that. Scroll up a little bit. We are very excited statewide about these workshops, and I attended one of them earlier this week, and it was the very first one. Oh, look at this! Open up the schedule, John, because I sure want to make a very big plug, because our wonderful Kate and Deanne Finken are teaching this workshop. Is it free? It's for everybody. Can you sign up? Absolutely. It's coming up. It is on September 16th, right? And so this is just going to be a wow session that you are going to really love. And then notice that as we scroll down, there's redistricting study sessions. In October, you're going to hear much more about what's going on with redistricting. So there's a whole variety of things that you can sign up. Look at that mail information. Wow, do I need to take that? Know how to discover it myself. All right, John, I would like to go back to the Washington homepage. So we'll go home. And then I want to tell everybody how to find newsletters. Isn't there something we went to that newsletter page and I wanted to help everybody find it. Where is that who knows this? There we go. It's under advocacy. No, those are all of them. There, enter search terms. Okay, here's something that we all love. Put newsletters in there, John. Because there's a whole page that just tells us what all of our newsletters are. There. Read newsletter.
That's one of them.
No, that's one of them. There's a page. Where is that one that I sent you, right? Let's find it. And I want to apologize because we're talking all about how to.
On the top.
There it is, newsletters. So look up there, see there, it is there, okay? So just scroll. Now, here's the fascinating thing. You are enrolled in these newsletters. And some of them you're very aware that you're getting. The state of Washington, we're not gonna open them up, John, because time is getting done. But this is what I want to tell everybody. Look for these newsletters. You are getting them. And I even have notes.
Getting them on email, right?
Yes.
You might be surprised. You are already subscribed to more of these newsletters than you know. So I know this from the state meeting. And we were even talking about this. I asked John, did you receive the Resisting Threats to Democracy newsletter, which you did not sign up for? And John said, well, yes, I did. So many of us are signed up for more newsletters than we know. And then I have notes from Deanne to describe these things. So where is it in my notes? Here we go. Okay. So the league is published monthly in league. Published monthly on the second Friday. It is just for members, and we send it out to you. The evergreen voter is for external people. And so this is sent to members. It is published monthly, and it's the one that, let's say, we want the Secretary of State to view or something like that. And it has more of an outward face. The Resisting Threats for Democracy is for members, and we encourage you to look at this and also share it widely. So if you have friends or people you want to become more informed, this is a really good one. And then finally, the legislative action, which is produced weekly, monthly. And here's the other thing I want to mention, that Ellie, who is smart as a whip, actually did not know this update And in fact, I do want to read this, important to know, when a member joins the league, they are promptly subscribed to all 4 of these newsletters. You are already subscribed to them. You may say, oh, I do get stuff from the league. Well, that's what it is. It is a newsletter. So, any quick questions, because we need to move around. Yes, Ellie. Yes.
I don't know how many of you in the room have Comcast as your email address. I was in communication with Amy Keeloff about a month ago because I stopped receiving all emails from the state. She gave me a phone number for Comcast. I spent an hour and a half on 2 different phone calls, having them delve into my system to figure out why I wasn't getting them any longer. So I just want to inform you, if you have Comcast, be aware. And so if you need to call me, I can give you the phone number. But so Comcast asked me, so do you think you're not getting emails from other organizations? What? Like, what are you doing to my email?
What?
I have Comcast and I'm getting them all.
Okay, but just so.
But I'm really glad, that you said that. Yes, Bill, and we gotta really.
I think I have Comcast emails, is that what you referred to, that you have your name and Comcast email? Yes, I've got a problem with them too.
Ian seemed to be authoritarian here, and then we really need to practice.
I just wanted to say the legislative action newsletter comes out during session, during the legislature session, and it comes out weekly, and it asks you to take action on bills that the league supports. So it's an important one. Also be sure to look at other files. They may not come directly to your personal files.
I have an idea for a future meeting. Many of you, we learned at our table that Ann Murphy, our new member, actually was president of the Washington State League for a number of years. So we have rich people all over. And I think we'll find another opportunity. Would you do it? I know you would. And you give us some background at one of these meetings. State president, we know this. I'm moving everybody along because Ellie has some very important things. And John, could you pull up League USA? And I want to introduce Ellie Hutton. And Ellie is our member chair. And so this is your face. She is also the person behind the email that I described, the lwwcc@gmail.com, where you could send information. So, Ellie.
Thank you, Tracy. So on the National League website, because everyone joins the league or renews their membership now through the national portal, they have changed the look of their website. So you can see at the top, it's probably really tiny print, but if you were to ever go to the public page of the National League website, scroll way at the top, John, where it says LWV store to the far right.
Oh.
Yeah, member login. You know how for our website, in order to get the members only portion, you have to log in to access the event calendar, sign up to volunteer, et cetera, This member login is only if you're going to join or renew. National does not have a private website per se, and I'm going to explain something to you. They have a really great website. So John, if you want to start to scroll down, because what I want to show you is where you can get to member information. Keep scrolling down. We're going to go all the way to the bottom of this website. You can see they had litigation, and you can see all the court cases that they're currently involved in. At one point, there's Vote 411, which our league, where's Melanie, is going to use for the Clark County Charter Commission review candidates. Okay, you had here latest from the league. They have all kinds of post press releases, letters. This is a great place to go when hot stuff is happening in our country federally, and they will have a statement about what the league says, and those are often posted on social media too. So if you ever look at social media, you find them there. Keep scrolling down. Sign up for email. I don't know what that is. I have attended all the meetings about National League with this new member portal system, but I have never heard what they're doing with that. So I do know that there is email that they send if you sign up as a league leader. And anyone can sign up for those emails, and you get them every other week, and they come from the National League President, Diana Wynn. And they contain a lot of information about current things with some of the press releases they've had, upcoming webinars. So we're gonna keep going down, scroll down more, John. Down here, you can see on the far left, league management. And you can again see there's a member login. Ignore that member login. Go click on league management. And that opens up a page that's called league management. Oh, look it, you got the pop-up. No, the league management site is an internal resource hub for league members and is distinct from the public part of LWV.org. Please avoid sharing league management site pages with the public. So they don't have it restricted, but they have this pop-up. You can close it. And trust me, if you're on this page long enough, that will pop up a few times. You'll also get pop-ups for donations. But let's, what you can do, so you can see, go to the latest resources that they've posted, scroll there. So you can see they now have ICE talking points that they just posted as of the 10th. They have vote early day, which is October 28th. That's primarily for, it's for mail-in voting, but it's also for people that have to actually go to a location to cast their ballot in person. They have information about National Voter Week. So those are the resources, but what I really want to get to for you, okay, so then they have upcoming events. So look at this, on September 15th, they have an event, and all of their time is always shown in East Coast time, so Eastern time. So when you see something and it says it's starting at 3 p.m. on the East Coast, it's starting for noon for us here. LWV US Development Office Hours. Opportunity for members to raise questions about fundraising directly with LWV development staff. I don't know how many of you, I get a ton of donate to National League emails every week. So just so you know, that might be a place. But what I really wanted to go, John, can you go on the bar, under the purple bar at the top? Can you go over to events, click on events? Yep, and go to calendar. Yep, calendar. Okay, so scroll here. So again, they have the development hours. They have on September 17th another event, keep going. Framing the Future office hours, those are the meetings that I've been attending for about 2.5, 3 years that are all about the new portal membership system. And this is an outgrowth of the transformation journey that they've been on for the past 9, 10 years. You can scroll down, you can see there's legislative office hours. Keep scrolling down, I'm hoping. Litigation office hours. So this is if the national litigation team is excited to provide virtual office hours to league leaders and members in support of legal advocacy and litigation. So if this is where your league was encountering anything where, something locally was happening with our elections office and there was a change or something like that, that's where leagues can go and meet with members of the national staff litigation and advocacy team. We have participated in that a year and a half ago or more. National no longer provides any litigation services. They request that you go and get services pro bono, but they'd like to know what's going on if you're ever facing anything. So scroll down, building coalitions to amplify action. So this is, when I first joined the league, I started really perusing the national website. And I have gone to a ton of webinars over the years, not as many recently because they've really kind of changed what they're offering. But I have loved going to the national webinars because you have members from all across the country who are putting in the chat different things that they're doing or asking questions during the session. A lot of them are presentations, but they are very information rich. And so you talk about looking at these different websites and scrolling around. That's what I did a lot on national. And I just have really enjoyed keeping up with what they're doing. So building coalitions to amplify action, you know, that's part of this whole fight for democracy. You know, and it's encouraging leagues to build relationships with similar organizations. So if anyone was interested in learning about that, that's where you could go start to learn, and then you can talk to people in the league and start figuring out if that's something that our league wants to become involved in. Anything that, any action like that needs to come to the board so that we know what's going on and we can approve any actions, outreach to organizations, because remember the league speaks one voice. And only the league president, or in our current case, is our board, Sally Hale. Carpenter Hale is our voice for the media. And with outside organizations, we have to have someone who is really going to speak for the league and not be speaking for themselves with these other organizations. Okay, let's see. You can see that they have a communications part. They have operations and governance. If you want to click on operation and governance, yep, the one there, yep, operations and governance. This has a lot of information that's very related to the administrative side of the league. So they have their impact on issues, which is all the position policies that they have, that delegates at national conventions have voted to adopt. And you can look at that online. You can also order a book from Amazon. And I think, I don't know how much they cost. They used to cost like $5 or something like that. You can see a league governance checklist. You can see there's a link with a guide to national services for leagues. So that's where I would just kind of hang out and look around and read things. And so I really encourage anybody who wants to become active in any of these kinds of sides of being a member of the league. This is a good place to start learning a lot. I think I'm going to end right there, but have fun perusing. And just remember the league management website, you don't share it. Thank you.
And indeed, you will go for it, and you will not only navigate around, you'll whip out your phone when you're with somebody who wasn't at this meeting today and say, hey, you know, I know how to find this. We've got just a little bit of time for announcements, a very little bit of time. One other announcement that I'll make to everybody in general is we always have to end our meetings right on time. And we always have to rearrange the room because these are our responsibilities to CDM Shore Services, who graciously allow us to use their space for our meetings. I just want to give you a preview of next month's program. We are going to feature Sarah Fox. She is a city councilor of Vancouver, and the topic is districting the city of Vancouver. And a lot of interesting things to happen with that. The other thing we'll say is, wow, it's October, right? And so there are a lot of activities that are going up before the elections. And so it's sure to be a fascinating and lively meeting. Now, any announcements, anything from the floor, I'll come and hand you the mic. Melanie, Melanie Hanshaw is the chair of our campaign forums.
Hello, candidate forums.
Yeah.
That's fine. Hello, everyone. What I have in my hand here is an opportunity to volunteer. We had our very first candidate forum on, was that just last Saturday? Feels like a long time ago. Whew. Last Saturday at the Camas Library, we had about 85 people in attendance. That, the city of Camas is well involved in civics, the people, the population of Camas. I was very impressed. We had 3 races that were, candidates were up there answering our questions. Thank you to, Amy was our moderator. I don't see her today. And then we had, Lynn Osborne and Kathy Morton were our timers. So thank you for volunteering. And then, Mimi and John and, Kristen and Ellie were all there for, volunteering. So we have opportunities coming up. The 24th of this month at the Vancouver Library, that's a Wednesday evening, 5 to 7. Jane Van Dyke will be our moderator, and I have a couple of people signed up already here. You'll see if you see your name, you don't have to write it again. But we are looking for folks who would be willing to be timers. If you've never done that, I can train you easily. And then help with you set up of the chairs in that big community room at the library when you first walk in downtown Vancouver. Vancouver Community Library. So Wednesday, September 24th from 5 to 7. If I remember correctly, that is the city council and mayor race. So big one for Vancouver. And then our next forum is Thursday, October 9th. That is up just west of Battleground. There is a fire station from the Clark Cowlitz Fire Rescue. And they allow us to use their space there. So we've done that before. And that is the races in basically Battleground and Hawkinson. So we try to go up there and meet where the people are. So that was going to be the fire rescue station from 6:30 to 8:30. That seems kind of late. I'll have to check my math on that. And then the Vancouver Library again on Friday, the next day from 5 to 7:30. That one is a long one, 2.5 hours, because we have 5 races that we'll be covering. Anyway, if you have any questions, ask me. Thank you to all our committee members. We've been very busy, but we're in the home stretch of execution now, and it's not that work. I'm a project manager, so I have, logistics, Anyway, just getting it done. So thank you to everyone who's helped volunteer, and we've had a great response from candidates. So, and in the public, we do a great service for everyone. So thank you.
You can also sign up on the website. I know that.
Yeah, we were looking at the volunteering.
Just want me to add it today. It's not there now.
Yeah, no, I've been just personally corresponding with people to volunteer with this. I have not utilized the website for.
Let's do it old fashioned perfect and find Melanie. This is a wonderful thing to do. And then the rest of us can view these right on CBTV.
Oh, yeah, got that.
What channel?
CBTV.org. Or no, .gov.
You can even watch it on your actual TV.
Go to our.
And then it's also recorded, so you can go onto the CBTV and you can watch it subsequently. Any other announcements? This would be, you would take less than a minute for this announcement, but if you got it, we want to hear it. Oh, Marty? Okay, well, Marley's gonna remind us what we need help with. So when we go to put things back, we are in the 4 conference chairs at each table. The bigger chairs can be scattered around or moved to the front.
That'll be really helpful, and, so we can get these tables lined up and the chairs around, and then of course you can chat and think and make plans to socialize more with your neighbors and all that. So thanks everyone for coming, and thanks for helping us.